Gavin Ashenden here, British Catholic layman and associate editor of the Catholic Herald, and also former chaplain to the Queen, it says here. Gavin, very good morning to you.
Hello, Mike. Good morning.
I mean, we talk about pomp and ceremony in this country, but they do it pretty well in the Vatican, don't they?
It was pretty splendid, wasn't it? Very, very beautiful, very exciting, very dignified.
Yeah.
I think the Catholic Church can claim to be one of the most beautiful and attractive organisations in history. It's great.
Yeah, well, I mean, I suppose people might argue about that, but certainly in this kind of context, there are many things that they do well, and this is one of them. There are many things that they don't do quite so well, of course, but we could get into that in a little while.
True.
What can you tell me about Pope Leo? He seems to have spent quite a lot of time in Peru, quite a lot of time in South America in general, but he's originally from Chicago. A lot of people going, well, did Donald put him in there? Well, of course not. But the first American is quite surprising.
Well, I think it's a great joke going around that this is a validation of Donald Trump's tariff policy, because even the Pope is now made in America. He's a man called Bob from Chicago. Right. But moving on from that, there are three things we might look at very briefly. The first is his name. The second, what kind of man he is. And the third, what he believes. Yeah. The name's important. It's a kind of branding in Catholic terms. Leo XIII was an amazing guy. Came to the papacy at the end of the 19th century, and he combined a very astute political and theological grasp with a real deep spirituality. There was an extraordinary coincidence because Leo XIII had an encounter with the devil in the Vatican, and it was he who got the prayer to St. Michael the Archangel written into the Mass. He had a very clear sense of the evil that was coming on in the 20th century. And by choosing his name, Robert Prevost is saying, look, I intend to combine astuteness and spiritual depth. So that's very encouraging. The people who've met him said he's about the most authentic human being they've met. They really like him. You come away from a conversation with him thinking, this man's real, this man's true. That'd be very good for us, because Pope Francis was complicated. Let's leave it at that. Yes. What does he believe? He believes a number of things on the left that I think don't matter very much. In terms of green policy, he thinks reciprocity rather than tyranny is better. Well, that's fine. He wants to criticise J.D. Vance. Well, let him. That's okay. Yeah. Most importantly, on sex, he's Catholic, and the reason that matters is we don't want a civil war in the Catholic Church. So he says, for example, to well, let's call them blended families. The Catholic Church stands for a woman and a man having children, and that's that. That's going to be a huge relief. Yeah. We hope very much.
One of the things I don't get is why sort of activists want that to change. It's like he's the Pope, he's the head of the Catholic Church. What would you expect him to believe? You know, that's what he should believe, isn't it?
Well, absolutely. The trouble is the activists want a cultural takeover. Yeah. And one of the things standing in their way is the Catholic Church. Right. I'm very pleased to say, you know, people can choose what they want in life, but I'm very pleased to say that if the Catholic Church keeps its beliefs through this new Pope, they can choose to be Christian and Catholic and have a stable society. Yeah,
absolutely right. Gavin, I wish we had more time. We'll come back to you once he's been in for a couple of weeks and see what he does first. Sure. Good to talk to you. British Catholic layman, former chaplain to the Queen, of course, Gavin Ashenden. A man knows a thing or two about the world of religion. And some people don't think the Catholic Church and the Pope is a very important story, but I think it is. In this day and age, as somebody pointed out to me, Christianity needs to be defended by someone, and who better than the Pope?